winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. And all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean, buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now instead of riding barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, who am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I that am rudely stamped, and want love's majesty strut before a wanton ambling nymph. I that was curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time to this breathing world half scarce made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable. Dogs bark at me as I halt past them. Why, in this weak, piping time of peace, I have no delights to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun, and descant on my own deformity. Since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, to set my brother Clarence and the king, the one against the other, in deadly hate. And if Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and tremulous, then this day shall Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says, of G, the murderer of Edward's heirs shall be. Dive thoughts down into my soul. Here, Clarence comes. Hello and thank you for watching. My name is John Givens and you're watching a short video on the play Richard III. Now, I'm going to come out right and tell you I'm not a Shakespeare scholar, I'm not an expert. Any opinions I have are based on my own feelings and not on actual research. I do encourage you to go looking for information on this play and see what qualified people have to say about it, and you'll find some excellent videos. I found one just a few days ago featuring Ian McKellan, who has played the part before. So I encourage you to look him up. The opening scene, to me, establishes who the character is. And he is a man who is evil. I mean, there's nothing here that says he has any good qualities. And Shakespeare did a very good job at smearing Richard III. But, well, he was living under the reign of Queen Elizabeth Tudor. And you're not going to insult the boss's grandfather, are you? So you're going to make him look bad. But in this opening scene, we get a very good idea of who he is and what his motives are. He says it quite well. If my brother Edward is as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, he's telling us outright who he is. He is telling us what motives he has. He's alone. He is miserable. He has spent years in battle, and now the battles are over. And what does he have? He has a hump on his back, a limp, and a withered arm. And as far as he's concerned, he's a monster and no one will love him. And I can only sympathize with this because I think we all have had those moments where we think of ourselves as unattractive, unwanted, unloved. And he says it. Why I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delights to pass away the time. If I cannot prove a lover, then I'm determined to be a villain. And it's actually some of these statements he makes which has allowed some critics to say that this version of Richard is a cardboard cutout. He's not real. There is nothing really about him. He is just there as a placeholder to be evil. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but still, it's a wonderful character, and I do recommend that you go looking for some of the various productions. If you go on YouTube now, you'll find some very skilled actors playing the part, and so I encourage that. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Shakespeare. I'll come out right and say that as well, but I am an appreciator of good storytelling, and Shakespeare was an excellent storyteller, and his stories are universal. There are two writers or two sources of literature I can name right now that have such universal appeal, and they show us that we as humans have not changed in our attitudes and our motives in thousands of years. And one of those sources of literature is the Book of Psalms. The other is Shakespeare, and his stories are so universal that you can put them into any time period and you'll understand the characters, understand the motives. And Sir Ian McKellan, when he played the part for a film, he played it as a English royal living in the World War II era. So it's just a universal story, easily understood. So Richard is evil in this story. That's how people chose to see him at the time this play was written. He is described as having a humped back, which I can do that. A withered left arm, which I can't do that. When I throw my shoulder up like this for the hump, I lose use of my right arm. And a limp, which currently I have a real one. So when I'm doing that in the scene you just watched, that's not acting, that's reality. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I encourage you to continue to look up material on the real Richard III and Shakespeare. Keep watching, keep learning, stay safe, and have a good day.